talking about? Oh, 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 oh. What's he talking about? Oh, 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 oh. What's he talking about? Oh, 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 oh. What's he talking about?
Every motherfucking song says the same, and this bitch said the same, and this bitch.
Welcome to Inside the Soundwave Internet TV Show, live from the beaches of Indialantic, Florida, where all of your local musicians get to tell you their music story from the beginning to the present. Now, here is your host, Mr. Soundwave.
Hey, we're back again, Thursday, November 1st. The pumpkins are gone, the turkeys are out. Here we are, inside the Soundwave, Indialantic, Florida. On the beach, right across the street. No snow. We're praying for you, New Jersey, and all you people up north. Definitely in our prayers. But we don't have any snow, but we did have Sandy last week, and we did have quite a mess here, too. And today, we have featured artist, well-known, popular, Mr. Dave Chapman. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for being on the show. Yes, from Rockledge?
Yes, originally, yes.
Presently?
No, actually I live in Melbourne.
Oh, you're in Melbourne.
I'm in Melbourne.
Okay, got me there. I thought he was from Rockledge. Okay. We just learned something already. We have Dave talking today. We're going to hear about his story of how he came to Florida quite quickly and how he's progressed here in Brevard in the music scene. And we're going to start right off with Dave telling us where he spent his first year on this planet, in this world. Dave, tell him where you were, how you really came about and got to Florida.
My folks are both from West Virginia, Logan County, actually. And my dad decided to move us down here when I think I was about a year old.
Mm-hmm.
There was job opportunity here. His brother was already here. So he sought to come down here himself and get in on the opportunity. Not space related, not space industry related at all. But his brother was making a decent living down here in a construction field. And my dad decided to make a go of it himself. So I was about a year old. And they dragged me out of West Virginia down to here, Brevard County. This is the only county I've lived in. This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
Whereabouts in West Virginia?
It's in the southwest corner. It's called Logan County. Actually, recently I was just doing some work looking for some birth certificate information, and I looked up the city I was born in. Actually, the town at that time, there was no hospital there. I was born in a clinic. Wow. And so my birth certificate wasn't legal. It is now, taken care of. But I looked, the town now has a population of 1,100. And I've seen some pictures of it. It's
1,100. What was it when you were a little guy?
Oh, I'm not sure. I would have to look.
More you think or less?
Probably less at that time. But it's just
1,100 people. That's not very many.
No, 1,100 is probably this neighborhood next door to us.
Yeah, there's 1,100 people in one block on the beach.
Sure.
That's pretty neat. Now, that southwest corner.
Correct.
Is that bordering Ohio?
I believe so.
It
It's close to, there's a town called Logan. I think it's close to Huntington, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. They must have just got some snow, because I know, maybe not, though. Maybe not.
I don't know if they did. I haven't contacted any relatives up there, but I know that West Virginia had some big snow warnings.
Yeah, I know. I drove through West Virginia, because we're going to talk just quickly about that, through 70, going to Colorado, and it's beautiful.
West Virginia's house. It is a beautiful, beautiful state.
I don't think I've ever seen a place where whole towns are right on the side of a right on the side of a big hill or mountain, whatever they want to call. Yeah. Being from Massachusetts, I know all about hills.
Sure.
But so we came down here. Within 1 year, you were down here in Brevard.
Correct.
And you grew up in Melbourne?
Actually, I grew up in Rockledge.
Rockledge.
They moved to Merritt Island first. We lived there for a short time. I briefly remember that. I was very young. Then they got a place in Rockledge, and they've lived in that house since 1966.
Wow.
So my folks have been there a long time.
Wow, 66.
Mm-hmm.
I think we came down in 60. My sister came down in 63.
Mhm.
62.
Wow.
So, but not to Melbourne. We were Daytona.
Okay.
Then my father and the rest of us all came into Cape Canaveral
Okay.
back in the 80s and 70s. Beautiful place.
Cape Canaveral's house. The whole county is outstanding.
It
It
is.
really is. That's probably why I've never left. I really like it here.
How old were you when you picked up your first, what was it, a guitar? Or,
Well,
I've heard violins, I've heard accordions. I have. The past guests.
with me, the first instrument I touched was a trombone.
Oh, there you go. Now that's the first. We haven't heard that yet.
I played trombone when I was in junior high.
Yeah, but, we don't. You're an engineer. You're one of them.
I know.
Yeah.
Now I don't have an ear for music at all.
That's Jamie Martino, my engineer. He'll put his camera on himself so y'all can see Jamie. He's been with me going on 4 years here at ISW. And so, a trombone.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a reason why you picked up a trombone? I mean, was it a band or a school band? Or
One of the things, I guess it still continues to this day, the schools will go down to the next school, like the high school will go down to junior high, and they'll have their high school students play for the junior high students to kind of attract them into playing and joining the band program. That's what happened at my elementary school, the junior high band at that time, Kennedy Middle School. They came and they played for us, and we were taken outside. They were all set up, and we listened to them play. And as soon as they were finished, it was in my mind right then, right there, I want to be in band.
Awesome.
So as soon as I got the opportunity to get my schedule set up for junior high, band was the first thing I picked. So, and trombone, I think I just liked the way it looked. It was an interesting looking instrument, and I thought, I
that's
want to.
cool though. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it
neat.
is. I want to take a crack at that, so that's what I did.
Because I remember back when I was a little guy, trombones were big with David Clayton Thomas and Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, in Chicago.
Sure, Chicago. Oh yes.
Yeah, there was trombones in there and all
Certainly.
kinds of instruments. That's pretty neat. Now, how old were you when you picked up that trombone? Do you remember roughly?
That was 6th grade, so I would say 12, perhaps.
12?
Yeah, right around 12. Yeah. Played it all the way through. I take that back. There was one year I took, my 9th grade year, I decided I wanted to try a new instrument, and sticking with the bass clef side of things, I took up bassoon, a double reed instrument, which
Wow.
again, it's an odd instrument, and I thought I'd take a shot at it.
Can you still dabble in those, or you don't at all anymore?
Good God.
You could not a trombone or.
I haven't picked up a trombone in years. I could try, but I'm afraid of what would come out.
Now, when you went to school, I don't know if it was the same as myself. Was it elementary school, elementary, then junior high, then high school?
Correct. That's
Because
correct.
now they have different. It's a little different.
Yeah, it's broken up
broken up a little bit.
differently in different.
Because I know you
different
came out of
areas.
6th grade and went to junior high.
Right.
For us,
Actually, yeah, where we were from at that time, 6th, 7th, 8th
or junior high.
was junior high.
See, the same.
So, whereas here it's not.
No.
It's different here.
It's middle school here.
Correct. So they have 2 years in junior high at 7, 8. Is it? In some schools, it depends on the school. But so I had 3 years of middle school band, and that was a blast. I really, really enjoyed that quite a bit.
Band,
Correct.
not orchestra though.
No, well, it's whatever, it was band, whatever they had you play.
Right.
Christmas concerts,
Right.
marching in Christmas parades and things such as
We
that.
had
Football
our-
games?
I'm sorry?
Football games?
Not for junior high, but I did play basketball games.
Oh, really?
I did play some basketball
No, when
games.
I was in junior high, we played football games. All the football games. It was
Okay.
great because we were always right. The cheerleaders were right in front of us.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I really loved it. In the trombones, we were in the very front because of the slides. So we had to be right up front, right in front of the cheerleaders. We got them going.
Sure.
That's cool. Yeah, we had the marching band,
Okay.
which was a big everybody tried to play and walk in step, was kind of cute. And
Sure.
And back in elementary school, we had a little orchestra. That's where I started in 3rd grade.
Okay.
With the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it got to high school, then we had the marching band, of course, and we had an orchestra, though.
Okay.
And those actually were credits back when I was up there in Massachusetts. So what school did you go to here in Brevard?
That was Kennedy Middle School. I went to junior high there. That's where I started band.
Where's that school now?
It's on Fisk Boulevard in Rockledge. I would love to go back and see that band director. He's not there anymore. But just to let him know what has happened with music after all those years, because he's the one that got me started. His name is Lee Haskins, and he's the one that got me started in music, and after all these years still doing it. So I just think that would be kind of neat to tell him that.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. That's on Fisk. I know where that is.
That's correct.
I lived on Regalia back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. It's
Regalia Drive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That school's not too far from there.
That's correct. I know where you're at.
Wow, that's kind of neat.
Sure.
I'm not doing 15 right now. Now, so you took the trombone and the what was it?
Bassoon. When I went to high school, I stopped playing trombone to take up bassoon for whatever reason. You can't really march with a bassoon.
No.
So I didn't get to do any marching.
Right.
And that only lasted a year. That experiment lasted a year, and then I went back to trombone.
Trombone.
Yeah.
How many years did you play the trombone?
Well, that would be 5 altogether.
5 years. Darn, that's pretty good.
It was fun. We got to go to a lot of interesting places, and that's the great thing about band, is that you get to take a lot of great trips. You get to meet a lot of great people. You get to see a lot of great things that you wouldn't ordinarily see.
Right.
If you were just going to school. And so band was great.
Cool.
I loved it. And my 14-year-old daughter is in band. We encouraged her. Actually, we didn't encourage her. We put her in it against her will. But now it's turned out to be her favorite class. So.
That's cool because actually you, except for 1 year, you've been in Brevard the whole time.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Good. Authentic. Almost authentic. I mean, West Virginia's beautiful. We do have a Brevard musician here. Everybody is kind of been here, gone, come back, been here, gone, come back. A couple of them have been traveling. So at least we got in there now. We're going to take a short break, right? It's that time already. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back. Watch the video coming up that you're going to see now. The first video is a Jack Starr video. He was on the show a couple weeks ago, and we're going to play one of his videos for you to watch. And we'll be back. Find out what happened after the trombone and how he got into whatever instrument next he played. We'll find that out shortly. We'll be right back. Watch this video. And we also have John Aiello playing the piano today live during the second break. So stick around, watch the video, come on back. Check out Dave Chapman and find out how he moved along here in Brevard in the music scene. Okay? Stay tuned. We are back for more of Dave Chapman from Melbourne. Not Rockledge, Melbourne. Now, we got more music? Let's have some applause for Dave.
I was trying to get the applause, but the music was still going.
We may not always have it right here on Inside Soundwave, but you know what? We have fun and we get to talk about local musicians here in Brevard. We want to promote local musicians here in Brevard. We just don't want to bring them to the studio, the recording studio right next door, to try to get their business. We want to let the whole world know about our great musicians right here in Brevard County. And that's what my goal is to let everybody know about our good musicians here. That's the truth. And this is the Christian-based recording studio right next door. You got to check it out. Dave's saw it for the first time today, and
Yes.
we're kind of impressed.
I like drums. And
Drummer's paradise.
there are a lot of drums here.
Yeah. Michael
Everywhere you
White.
turn, there's a drum set.
Yeah. The drummers have a good time here. We do have all the amplifiers in isolation rooms. You didn't get to see the rooms, but all the amps are in rooms isolated and mic'd, so that when they record, that everything's nice and clean. You don't
Very
get
good.
blasted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're back. We are back to when, after 5 years of playing the trombone, we picked up what instrument?
Wow. How do I do? I'm trying to think how to do this. A friend of mine had an acoustic guitar, and I asked him one day if I could, kind of take it home and plunk around on it for a little bit, and he said he was okay with that. I think I was probably in 8th or 9th grade at that point. Took it home, plunked around with it, and probably played the first tune everybody plays when they first pick up a guitar. Deep Purple.
Oh, okay. I'm different, I guess. I learned Stairway to Heaven.
Okay. No, I plunked around on
Different?
Smoke on the Water.
That's a good one to
Oh,
learn.
yes. That's usually the first
Yeah.
riff everybody tries out.
Yeah,
So I tried it out,
Yep.
played around with it, and it felt comfortable. I kind of liked this.
And
I
you
thought
liked the way it sounded,
this was
too, when
gonna-
you got the chords.
this was going to be neat. So I thought, I could do this. I thought that was going to be a good thing. And so from that point forward, I started looking at guitar stuff. Now, this is guitar, mind you, not bass playing.
bass.
This is guitar, because at the same time, the person that lent me the acoustic guitar had a friend who turned out to be a mutual friend of ours, and he showed me something. I'd already started listening to some music to my parents' old Beatles recordings and old 60s music, which I still love to listen to, probably because of that. But this mutual friend of ours showed me something I'd never seen before. He showed me an album cover, Kiss Destroyer.
Oh,
Okay, so I saw this thing, and then he put on Detroit Rock City, he puts on King of the Nighttime World and stuff, and I'm seeing this cover and these guys and this, this get up, the whole deal, and listen to this music. It was right there. I want to do that. I want to be that. For whatever reason, that's what I decided. So that became the driving force.
so the trombone got put away.
The trombone was still being played, but
Played,
not
but-
quite that wasn't where the passion
You
was.
found no new passion.
I wanted to be what those guys were doing. So I started getting pictures and recordings and just, what are those guys doing? I want in on that, you know. And
So, I mean, Kiss.
yes, that was.
Are they one of your big influences then?
You know,
or would you say the Beatles or somebody else really kind of influenced?
I think if they got the ball rolling, they weren't super influential as far as the musician part of it was concerned. That was really just to get me interested in even doing something like that. Obviously, at that age and at that time, I didn't know what that entailed, but at least the fire had been lit a little bit. So
you picked up an acoustic guitar.
that was an acoustic guitar first.
Not electric.
No. I wanted electric though because that's what Ace Frehley was playing.
Right.
He had a Les Paul. You know, obviously, at that time and age, I was not going to be getting my hands on a Les Paul anytime soon. So I had to earn my guitar, and I found
Not even a copy of Les
well, I found a knockoff Les
There you
Paul
go.
in a pawn shop
Sure.
in 9th grade, and I had to work. My dad had me work at his shop for the entire summer to earn the $125 to buy it. So that was a great day. Walking into that pawn shop and handing them that money, that was a great day.
Wow.
So I got a black, it was a knockoff, but it was a black Les Paul knockoff. And, oh yeah.
Then you took off from there.
Oh, I thought it was just going to be something else, you know. And then this friend that let me borrow the acoustic guitar, excuse me, he played bass. So he and I thought we'd do this band thing. Let's form a band. We knew a guy that played drums. So we got him together. It was just the three of us in the drummer's bedroom, just banging on whatever we could bang on, you know. And,
right, and that was in Brevard?
that was in
No,
Rockledge.
Rockledge.
That was in Rockledge, yeah. And we were having fun. Not really knowing what we were doing too much, but kind of knowing that this felt good.
And you were playing cover music, kind of, picking up songs?
Well,
yeah, of course.
Sure.
Of course,
You know, yeah, what do you know? What do you know?
Right.
You know, you listen to something on a record and go, okay, let's try to do that. You know, that kind of thing. And that was fun. We had a good time.
So now you're playing acoustic, and you had a drummer and you had a bass player.
Sure.
How long did you play six string?
Yeah, this is where bass playing comes in. Going through high school, trying to get into that, I was introduced to some other music besides Kiss at that point. I was starting to get introduced to Led Zeppelin, starting to get introduced to Black Sabbath, things like this. I had a really good friend of mine in high school that was a big Black Sabbath fan, and he played bass. And I loved watching him play bass because he played with his fingers. He plucked with his fingers. And I loved watching him do that. That was really cool. And then Led Zeppelin, interestingly enough, Led Zeppelin 4, I love all of their material, but that one is partial to me because the first concert I ever went to was a Kiss concert.
Mm-hmm.
And we drove, three of us drove in a pickup all the way to Lakeland and all the way back to see Kiss. And there was no radio in this pickup. All we had was one of the little flat box tape recorders, and the only cassette tape we had was Led Zeppelin 4. So all the way to Lakeland, all the way back. We just keep flipping it, playing it, flipping it. So it was Led Zeppelin 4 over and back. I don't know how many times through. So I still enjoy that record very much. So I started getting introduced to other kinds of music, starting to listen to some of this other stuff that's going on. A bunch of guitar players, we would get together in the high school auditorium. We'd plunk around, what do you know, what do you know? And everybody would do this kind of stuff, trading back and forth. And as it turned out, of the 5 or 6 or 7 guitar players in there that day, I wasn't that good. Okay, the idea of playing guitar was probably out better than the actual. I was okay at it, but all the lead stuff, I just wasn't that nimble.
Right.
So
chords?
Somewhat, but I don't know, for some reason it was elusive to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay, I was having fun with it, but you when you watch somebody that really knew how to get around on the neck,
right?
Yeah, I just wasn't at that point. So somebody got the bright idea and said, okay, you play bass. I said, okay. So they took the high school, had a Gibson Grabber bass that they used for the jazz band, put that in my hands and said, here, you play that. So get my pick, I'm playing. I'm just going along with whatever they're playing, and I'm doing the best I can. When it was over, I'm a little fuzzy on this, but I want to say my high school girlfriend at the time, I know it was a female, it may have been her, I can't remember exactly, said, "I like the way you play bass." And I went, And so at that point, I really started to consider maybe switching instruments at that point. So I thought, okay, maybe.
4 strings. I mean, it's
maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Right.
And I had, again, listening to Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Really like Terry Butler, good bass player. Really like John Paul Jones for Zeppelin. John Entwistle.
Boy, and the bass really carried them. It was really heavy.
Yes. And I found out, recently that Terry Butler actually was the primary writer for a lot of Black Sabbath lyrics. So I didn't know that, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
Black Sabbath.
Right. So, bass playing was like, okay, this could be good. And I was hearing all kinds of different bass player names being thrown around, but I'd never really listened to any of these people, like Chris Squire,
right?
Like John Entwistle. I'm like, okay, who are these guys? Right. So, I decided, maybe I should start listening to some of these guys and seeing what this is all about. But the thing that tipped the scale was a good friend of mine in high school marching band had a white van, and we used to carry the band instruments from the school to the football field for marching band rehearsal.
Right.
And on the way over to the football field, he popped in this blue 8-track. He'd throw it in, and I would hear songs like "Working Man," "Finding My Way," "In the Mood." This was Rush's first album, and I had never heard anything like this before. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great stuff. Can I borrow that?" And he said, "Sure." So I would take that 8-track home, and when my parents weren't home, I played it as loud as I could get away with it. Obviously when Dad came home, turned that stuff down, and I did. But after I heard that first album, I had to find out more about these guys. So I'll tell you a little bit more about how that goes.
2 Rush fans. Wow, this is tremendous. We've already talked about Rush in the ISW lobby a little while ago with all the paraphernalia and memorabilia, all the goodies out there. We're 2 big Rush fans. I'm a big Neil Peart fan. Saw them in Time Machine twice in the 5th row. Lifeson. Good. In the other room, I have Neil Peart's drum CD. The anatomy of a drum solo.
Drum solo, yeah.
Listen to it a lot. Can never get there. He's so good. He's one of a kind. I don't care what a jaws say. He's one of a kind. But so we've come upon a Rush influence.
Yes, very much so.
With the bass change type.
Oh yeah,
in
definitely.
High school.
Yeah, I was. I think it was around my senior year, something like this.
And what high school was this now?
It's Rockledge High.
Rockledge High.
Yeah, we were. We would go over to the football field and listen to this music,
cool.
And so he let me borrow it, and I thought this was kind of cool. I like this. this is pretty good. So,
different.
It's very different. Very different.
Chipmunk.
In a blender.
In a blender.
Uh-huh. But the thing that sold it is one evening I was in my room listening to the radio, and there was a radio station back at that time from out of Mount Dora called Zeta 7. I don't know if you remember that or not. I was channel surfing, just looking for something to listen to, and I stumbled across the unmistakable voice of Geddy Lee. So I'm listening to this song. I don't know what the song is, but I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. I had fortuitously landed right at the instrumental break on Free Will. So I sat and I listened to this because I knew who the guys were. I'm like, okay, let's see where this is going. And after I listened to that instrumental break and listened to the rest of that song, finished and that final note hit, done. Bass player. Bass playing is going to be fun. Because when I heard what that guy could do, I was like, bass playing is going to be fun. I'm sold. I'm in. And from that point forward, it was, again, Chris Squire, John Entwistle, John Paul Jones, Jack Cassidy.
Because Entwistle could really climb all over that neck too.
Yes,
he was phenomenal.
He knew how to
One
get
of my
around an
favorites.
instrument. Terrific sound. His sound is just beast. So
All by himself, standing over there at Entwistle.
sure, relaxed.
Way
just-
over there while Daltrey and Townsend are doing their crazy stuff.
Sure.
That was great. Bass players are great. I've had 2 bass players on now. I've had Pastorius and you.
Yeah, David's great too. He knows how to get around the neck for sure.
See, well, that's the drummer thing, because I'm a drummer, and
He's
drummers
coming up
and,
on our next break.
drummers and bass players kind of mesh.
Sure. Oh
You
yes,
know,
definitely.
We got to go to break.
Yeah, and Dave is up on our next break too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the
Pastorius.
next video, we're going to take a short break, and I want you to watch this video coming up while we take this break, because it's Dave Pastorius and Local 518. Check the video out. Stay tuned. We're going to come back, and we're going to try to push up to current date with Dave and his band he's playing with, and whatever happens in between that. And we're going to have John Aiello play a tune shortly. We'll be right back. Don't go away, please. Open mics. Don't forget about open mics. I forgot to talk about Florida Discount Music. My buddy Mike, great place, open mic. Florida Discount Music and Alternative Connection. If you need to go get an earring like Crazy Me, or if you want to have a tattoo, I don't have one of those yet. Anyways, I wouldn't go anywhere else but Alternative Connection. Great place, clean place, good people. We'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, we're back. Going to go to the other side of the studio over here at ISW, right next door. In the main recording studio, we're going to have John Aiello play a song for you on the piano. Check it out. John's usually around here every Thursday with us. Good musician. You'll be hearing more and seeing more of John. Check out John playing the piano for you. Original song.
I went out sailing with my dad. What I can remember, it wasn't all that bad. Just a rolling across the wave till you came and stopped dead. I was a fool for your love. I was a fool for your love. Now I'm sailing sailing with my dad, with my dad. I grew up with mommy. She was always afraid, looking out for daddy, coming back to stay. Just a rolling across the years, till you came and stopped it. I was a fool for your love. I was a fool for your love. Now I'm sailing with my dear. I'm sailing, searching for dry land. I'm sailing with my dad, with my dad. Guess they're all looking for me now. I went out sailing, but I don't know how. Just a rolling across the waves. Don't you try to stop it. Was a fool for your love. I was a fool for your love.
We're back. John Aiello. Thank you, John. That was a nice job. We really appreciate your music, original music. Anybody that wants to come on the show and play a song, if you think you can play your song like John just did, I want you here. If you can't play a song like John just did, I still want you here. Come on into the show. Come on into the show and let the people see your talent. You're here from Brevard. We would like to hear from you. InsideTheSoundwave.com. There's a link there that you can email us and let us know that you want to come on the show. Tell me what instrument you play. If you want to appear on the show, like Dave, let us know that too, and we'll put you on this. We'll put you on the show. Let everybody know about you. Not only in Brevard, we're not a magazine, we're not a radio station either. We're going to let you known all the way over to China. Even though we owe them billions, we won't get into that. No. That's get next Tuesday over with. But we're going to let you know all over the world. That's why we want you on this show. We want to get you out of Brevard. We want you here in Brevard, but we want to get people to know you that aren't in Brevard. InsideTheSoundwave.com. Check it out. Be on the show. Back to Dave. we're going to be running out of time. I got to get going with Dave here. We just got through. We just got through Rush. I think it was Rush and
How did I get into this mess?
yeah, Dave got influenced with Geddy Lee and Rush, and he said, "This is where I'm going to take bass." How old were you?
17, I think.
17 in Brevard, in Rockledge.
Correct.
17 years old in Rockledge. Heard Rush, heard Geddy, and what was the other Black Sabbath?
Yeah, Terry Butler for Black Sabbath, Chris Squire, got turned on to Chris Squire, and he's just from another planet.
And Entwistle.
And John Entwistle, McCartney is another really great bass player. I
Yeah,
like
definitely.
A lot.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so there are a lot of guys I could start listening to, and now they're just there's so many guys out there that are just wow, incredible. Colin Edwin for Porcupine Tree is a really good bass player. There's some Sting is a good bass player. He doesn't really get a lot of mention for that.
I think he is.
He's a great bass player. Mike Rutherford for Genesis, another good bass player because he's got a lot to keep up with, with Tony Banks and those guys. So there are a lot of really great guys out there to listen to.
Tell me the name of the band. 17 years old. What was the name of the band you were in?
At 17, the band I was in with the other two guys, that band was called Ace. Probably that's where the Kiss influence came into play. Then it was really just plunking around with whoever I could plunk around with to get to learn this stuff. But the first band that was actually organized and focused and trying to do something was a band in the early 80s called Listen.
So we're in the 80s. You got in early
82, I think that was.
And then you've been playing bass for a few years now.
Yeah, maybe a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I played with Listen. They were an all-original act. We played, backyard parties, just had some good times. We didn't play a lot of clubs or anything. But we did, for whatever reason, somebody picked us, which was a good thing, I guess. We got to play, actually it was right up here. I think it was the Holiday Inn, Oceanfront.
Yeah, it used to be Holiday Inn.
Okay.
The Hurricane kind of did that in.
There was some kind of surf movie or surf thing going on there or whatever it was, and they were having Spyro Gyra come into play, and we were the setup act for Spyro Gyra.
Wow.
So that was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
We got to meet those guys. That was great.
You guys are really good too.
Yes. Oh, yes. Very good. Outstanding. So we got to meet them, hang out with them for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. And actually, 3 guys in that band are still playing around here because 2 guitar players, Roger and Blaze, play in even odds. Now they still play locally to this day. And the keyboard player we had then, piano Jay Yerkes, that he played with us that night also. So Jay's still playing around.
And this is in the 80s.
as well. This is early 80s, yes. So, and that lasted, I think I was with them for a year or a year and a half, something like that. And then I got in with another outfit called Hard Knocks. Started
in
playing.
the 80s.
This is 83 to 85, I think.
Music was changing then too.
It sure was. So we were trying to keep up with where it was going.
Right.
So we were doing Van Halen and just all kinds of
Yeah,
crazy
Van
stuff.
Halen was still doing pretty good.
Sure. So we were just all over the place trying to do just different things, and we would play anywhere. So we ended up playing some pretty strange places because we would go just about anywhere because we just wanted to play.
Right.
So we had fun.
The scene was moving. Tears for Fears,
Yes.
Duran.
We did some Duran at that time.
My favorite, Depeche Mode.
Love Depeche Mode.
They were all. It was kind of changing around in the 80s.
Yes, it was.
So it was kind of hard to play. Well, it wasn't hard playing the rock and roll from the 60s and the 70s still because it was still pretty fresh. It was still going good.
Sure.
But the music scene was changing then.
Yeah.
You had to keep up with that.
Yeah.
Rush even was kind of like up and down and through them.
Sure. We were having to incorporate a lot of different styles. We were playing cover material at that time, and we were having to incorporate a lot of different, like you said, Van Halen, Duran, Rat. The Kinks, just all kinds of things. We were all over the place, just trying to be able to work and be able to play out.
Right.
So
right.
we had fun. We played
good music, though. All that was good music.
We played in Orlando. We played in Daytona. We played in West Palm Beach. We went all over the place.
What happened? Did you keep playing into the 90s? Or did you take a break
In
anywhere? In
'85, we went to West Palm Beach for about 3 weeks on our own. All of us were unemployed, and we got this crazy, wild idea as young kids that we're going to do this full time. And we got out there and found out it was a lot harder than we thought. Living on $50 a week,
Yeah.
that wasn't a lot of fun. So after
I think we all do that.
yeah,
We do.
I think after a few weeks of eating saltine crackers and jelly at Denny's, that got a little tiresome,
It's so funny. I laugh because been there, done that. It's like
Doing that now.
We all go through that. It's amazing. Musicians all do that. They say, well, we're just going to go on. We're going to do this full time. We're going to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, we thought we had enough in us to be able to pull that off, and it just didn't work out
It's
that
hard.
well. So we came home, and people went their separate directions and things like this. And I think I stopped playing there for a little while.
You took a break?
Took a break. Just kind of got away from the whole thing. And then in '88, I think it was, picked it back up again. The drummer from that band, got together with him again, and he had a friend that used to play in a band, a long-time band from years ago around here, Legacy.
Uh-huh.
This guy used to play guitar with Legacy, so he brought him in, and we brought in a keyboardist guitarist, and we started just really choosing some pretty off-the-wall music because that's what we all liked at the time. So we were doing things like Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, Veterans of the Psychic Wars by Blue Oyster Cult, The Voice by the Moody Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Some pretty strange music. It didn't really garner us too much work around here at the time.
Yeah.
Because some of the music was a little oddball, but we played it because that's what we loved.
Yeah,
play.
we
enjoyed that stuff.
It's always nice for a musician to play what you really like.
Yeah,
It's, back in my day, we had to play Creedence Clearwater, and Santana all the time, and of course some Beatles, but I mean as the years get older, I always wanted to start a band like Duran Duran or Depeche Mode, and I still do because I dabble in electronica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really into electronica, technical.
Sure.
Anyway, it's tough to play what you really love because there's so many people out there that won't go to listen to that. They won't.
It had its own set of challenges, and it was fun. We had a good time doing it. And we did get to play around here and there, but eventually I stopped doing that as well because I wanted to have a family and have a family life. So
Good move.
That's when I hung up the instrument for it was like 13 years. I gave it up. Yeah, I put it all away, sold my stuff.
Got something in common.
I held on to my guitars though, and I've heard people say that. I said, "Don't ever get rid of the guitars," and I did hold on to them.
That's interesting. So like 12, 13 years, somewhere in there, you just kind of
from the early '90s, '94-ish to 2007. I didn't play at all. I just walked away. So every so often now, somebody would say, "Hey, can you come over and do this?" So I'd come over and I'd help out. Like somebody wanted to record something, I'd go in and help them record. There was a Christian act called Water to Wine. Wanted me to do some recording for them, so I sat in, did some recording, but didn't pick it back up or anything like that.
So you didn't come back in until about
2007. Yeah. Wow. So I guess, what is that, 5 years? I've just kind of gotten back into it.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I stopped in 85 for a while.
Yeah.
I didn't think I did anything till 95. It took 10 years and just kind of like, that's enough.
Sure.
We wore out. I was wore out. I didn't like the way the music scene was going. So in 7 you picked up the bass, of course. You stayed with the bass, and I'm sure you dabbled with it for that while you were off.
Yeah, well, I think part of that was the whole midlife crisis program kicked in at that time.
Yeah.
I was hitting that age where I'm looking at other guys and saying, well, other guys golf or fish or hunt. What do I do? What do I do in my spare time for myself? I thought, well, I guess I'd play bass. That's what I do.
Right.
So I decided to get it back out. But when I did, I thought I wanted to do something that was me rather than just cover material. I wanted to do something of my own. So I got together with my brother, who writes and records his own music.
Right.
And has a few CDs out of his own. And I thought, hey, would you help me, make some stuff of my own? And so we've made about half a dozen tunes together, and it's been fun.
Mention your brother's name.
Randy Chapman. And we have a little project we call Leave Awake.
Not presently.
Oh yes, we do.
What's the name? What was it? Legal?
Leave Awake.
Leave Awake.
Yeah, Leave Awake. And we've made a few tunes. I'm learning how to write and how to compose and how to structure and how to put things together. And original music's its own animal. It really, really is, because everything's at your disposal.
That's a present project still.
We don't put out a lot. Just we'll get a bug. One of us will say, hey, I have an idea. Let's do something.
Is he located here also?
He lives in Rockledge. And so we'll get together and we'll hash out something he's come up with or something I've come up with. And we'll throw it together and see if it gains any traction. And
the band you're presently playing with right here in Brevard, that you just played at the HD and Crossroad.
Yeah, the Wicked Garden Gnomes. Yeah, that's a cover band project. So I have two projects going on at the same time.
Wicked
Garden
Gnomes.
Garden Gnomes, like the little guys with the pointy hats in your garden. Those guys.
How long has this group been around?
Interestingly enough, I just emailed one of the guys today. Our first gig was November 1st, 2008.
Wow,
so that's 4 years today.
Yeah.
So
that's a good length of time.
Yeah, not too bad.
I mean, the Bone Dogs have been around for 5 years. So you've got... That's interesting. And the whole band is located, you said, in Merritt Island, Rockledge, and Melbourne.
Yeah. 3 of the guys live on... one guy lives in Cocoa.
Cocoa.
2 gentlemen live on Merritt Island, and I live down here. So I try to make them get all the gigs down here.
Yeah. That's nice down here. I like
It's a great place to play.
It is a great place. There's a lot of clubs, a lot of nice places.
There's a lot of places for live music here. I like it.
It is. And Lou's Blues is cool.
Yeah, we've played
Winfields is cool.
Yeah,
and Sports Page.
Yeah. Haven't tried those yet.
Haven't been in there yet?
Haven't done those yet. We've done Lou's. Lou's is a really neat place.
Oh,
to
yeah,
play.
definitely.
Good people there. It's stairs are a challenge.
And here, what's the other one? Harus?
Oh, Barus?
Barus.
The old Hustler?
Yeah, the old Hustler. Yeah, they're going pretty good too. Right here, just down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the music from my place.
Yeah, it's Barus, not Harus. That's the sushi place next door.
I'm thinking the sushi place. I'm sorry. Barus. Well, we've got those places here. Now, the band that you presently, you said you're playing next weekend?
We're at Siggy's next weekend.
Ziggy's.
Yeah, with an S.
Siggy's. In Palm Bay.
Correct. In Palm Bay.
Siggy's. All-American bar.
Yes.
Where's that located?
In Palm Bay, right by I-95. It's Malabar Road, right?
I think so.
Malabar and I-95, right there in that shopping plaza on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you're there next Friday?
Saturday night.
Yes,
Saturday night.
And that's your next gig?
Correct.
All right. Very good. Did you hear that? I hope you all heard that now. Okay. Tell them the name of one more time. Tell them the name of the band.
Wicked Garden Gnomes.
They will.
And that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
We should shorten
I saw the gnomes, I saw that on the end of the sign of the advertisement I had of you.
Hey, Will, don't forget about the question today.
The question.
Uh-oh.
I will get to that in a minute. I just want to make one point here. Name the members of the band again.
Okay. Todd Morley does vocals, keyboard, synths, and guitar. Scott LaChance does guitar and vocal. Barry Gibbons plays drums and vocal. And I do bass and vocal. So all 4 of us sing.
All 4 of you sing. Mm-hmm. And you do some Rush songs.
We do. Some Moody Blues. We do Pink Floyd. We do Styx. We do Foreigner. I do Blue Oyster Cult. Actually, we got one of the bands I was in got to open for Blue Oyster Cult at a local club here recently. We were the setup act for that. That was fun. Got to meet Buck Dharma and everything. That was
wow.
Fun. That was good.
It's good.
Yeah, it was fun stuff.
Local. Right here. Brevard. Melbourne. Good band. Siggy's.
Mm-hmm.
Next Saturday. Let's see. I don't know what the date of that is.
November 10th.
Next Saturday, November 10th. Siggy's on Malabar Road, right by I-95 at 9? 8?
I think we start up at 9.
9 o'clock. Check it out. Go see Dave and the band. great band, I'm sure. I think I'll go to that one.
Okay.
You know,
Look forward to
that's
seeing you there.
probably, yeah, I think I'll sneak in for a little while. You won't recognize me. I'll put a hat and
okay.
stuff on. We are going to finish the show today. The question. If you can answer the question that I had for Dave of the name of the band that he is presently playing with, that's going to be at Siggy's in Palm Bay, email it to, what was that email address? I forgot.
Was it Inside the Soundwave?
Yeah, Inside the Soundwave at gmail.com with your name, your name, the name of the band, and give me your email address back so I can send you the prize. The first one that does that will get the T-shirt and the CD of Jack Starr, and a T-shirt that says Inside the Soundwave. Name of the band that Dave's presently playing with. Inside the Soundwave at gmail.com. Go ahead, do it. You might be the winner. I'll send you the stuff. Believe me. All right, we're done with the show today. We have one more video we're going to show you of Ron Caddy, who's doing a CD here at ISW Recording Studio. Presently going to do a 11-song CD, and they're working on it. Here's one of his songs on YouTube. Check it out. We'll be back next week. Open mics. Don't forget about open mics. Don't forget about Florida Discount Music. Don't forget about Alternative Connection. And don't forget about Atomic Tattoos at the Florida Mall in Orlando. Good tattoo places. Clean, reputable. I recommend them. Go to those places. We'll be back. Next week we have Aaron Dietz from Who Was I? The drummer. So I got a drummer on the show next week. I want to thank Dave. I hope you enjoyed his history here in Brevard of himself getting down here as a little baby and working his way up to right today here in Brevard. Thanks, Dave, for having for being on the show for me. We appreciate it. Brevard, check it out. Dave Chapman. If you didn't see it live, it'll be on at 5 o'clock at about 5 different sites. It'll be on Facebook. Check it out. Where to go to see it. Watch it. We're averaging about 1,000 viewers a show. So give it a hit. Thank you. God bless you. See you next week. Inside the Soundwave. Dave Chapman.
Little hands, two big hearts. Daddy, can we play a little bit longer? The usual request from my son and daughter. Daddy, come upstairs and kiss us goodnight. Daddy, can you sing another song? It's been quiet for way too long. Can we jump on your lap and squeeze us real tight? Time passes much too fast as they said it would. I'd rather be with them if I only could. They have 4 little hands and 2 big hearts. I'm a working dad and I do my part, but I'd rather be at home to recharge my life. I look forward to the future, but I miss their past. They're still my babies, but they're growing fast. I'd rather be with them while they still get children's eyes. You can ride our bikes or play some ball, have a tea party with your favorite doll, give mama a break to maybe paint her nails. Don't need no vacation going far away, time with the family so we can play, then back on the road and bring the bacon without fail. Time passes much too fast as they said it would. I'd rather be with them if I only could. They have 4 little hands and 2 big hearts. I'm a working dad and I do my part, but I'd rather be at home to recharge my life. I look forward to the future, but I miss their past. They're still my babies, but they're growing fast. I'd rather be with them while they still give me their time. I get what I need from my children's eyes. What their eyes can see means the world to me. But they won't stay in my world forever. They will leave the home. They have their own world to roam, their own way. And I gotta say, I miss them every day. I look forward to